Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the CHAL Alan. Today, Chall Chats Liverpool Football Club. Obviously, the big breaking story today. Jurgen Klopp is set to leave at the end of the season. He joined slightly after the 15-16 season started. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers was sacked. Jurgen Klopp came in from Borussia Dortmund during that 2015-2016 campaign. And he's been there ever since. He's been there 7 years, pretty much. And this year's his last year. And with Guardiola out of contract at City in 2025, we don't know for sure yet. I mean, some people confirmed it, but it's still technically a bit uncertain as to what's happening with Guardiola. Is he going to leave at the end of his contract? What's going to happen? United getting a shake-up in staff at the moment under Jim Ratcliffe. I think we're approaching another kind of Premier League era shake-up, if you know what I mean. So we're going to go through all of this with Jurgen Klopp, go through who else is leaving and when. We're also going to talk about successors, talk about potential next jobs for Jurgen Klopp, speak about that and his comments on that. So before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Stay tuned because we are going to be doing some content for Saturday. We're going to be previewing the Royal Rumble. We were supposed to be doing it tonight, but I've moved it to tomorrow evening, just a few hours before the show starts tomorrow. So that'll all be tomorrow. And we're going to sort of look into that and do a bit on that. But I think tonight's focus is just on Jurgen Klopp. Obviously, I'm recording this like 15 minutes before the Swindon Town short video comes out from the podcast, so go and check out the short video on Swindon Town. We've got plenty more content to come as well. Got some Premier League action at the end of the month as well, Nottingham Forest Arsenal. We will have our first content schedule analysis at the end of the month as well, so 31st January, you're going to see a review of January and a bit of an analyse into what's coming up, confirmed in February. So then, let's get straight into this then, and let's get started talking about the exit of Jurgen Klopp. So we're going to read from the Liverpool website and read the official statement from the Liverpool website. So it says as follows. Jurgen Klopp has announced his decision to step down as Liverpool manager at the end of the current season, having informed the club's ownership of his wish to leave his position when the 2023-2024 campaign comes to a close. After guiding the Reds to another Wembley final on Wednesday night, the 56-year-old will continue to oversee the team's remaining fixtures of 2023-2024 before bringing the curtain down on a glorious 8.5-year reign as manager at Anfield, which has seen the club win 6 major trophies under his guidance to date. Assistant managers Pepin Legendas and Peter Krawitz, as well as elite development coach Vitor Matos, will also vacate their positions at the end of the season, with Legendas keen to pursue his own career in management. Whoever gets Legendas is a very lucky club because you've got a guy who's worked with Jurgen Klopp who's just won 6 trophies in the past 8.5 years. So, you know, I think Legendas would be a fantastic manager. And I said that to some people today in work. I said that Legendas would be a fantastic manager on his own going forward. That's not all, though. That's not the only person leaving. There is another body leaving the Anfield dressing room. And that is, in fact, the sporting director, the Liverpool director, Jörg Schmatke. He will leave at the club at the end of the January transfer window. So he will leave before Jurgen Klopp and his staff. So we've got Jörg Schmatke, who is the Liverpool director, leaving at the end of the window in just a few days, in about a week. And then Jurgen Klopp, Legendas, Krawitz, and Matos will all leave their positions at the end of the season. Confirming his decision to LiverpoolSC.com, Klopp outlined the reasons behind it and the timing of today's announcement, placing particular emphasis on the need for clarity at the earliest opportunity in order to create the conditions for an orderly transition to take place in due course. He said, I can understand that it's a shock for a lot of people at this moment, but when you hear it from the first time, well, obviously I can explain it, or at least try to explain it. I love absolutely everything about this club. I love everything about the city. I love everything about our supporters. I love the team. I love the staff. I love everything. But that I still take this decision shows you I'm convinced it is the one I have to take. It is that I am, how can I say it, running out of energy. I have no problem now, obviously. I knew it already for longer than I will have to announce it at one point, but I'm absolutely fine now. I know that I cannot do the job again and again and again and again. After the years we had together, and after all the time we spent together, and after all the things we went through together, the respect grew for you, the love grew for you, and the least I owe you is the truth, and that is the truth. So, first of all, before we talk about successors and the next manager, etc., and where Klopp's going to go next, etc., let's talk about that news first of all. Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool along with a few of his staff at the end of the season. Didn't mention all the staff. It just mentioned Vitos Maros, Peter Kravitz, and Pepin Legendas, who will go on and look towards his own managerial career. Excuse me. And you know what? I think that any club who picks up Legendas will be fantastic. I think Legendas has got a bright future as a manager. It's clear I saw the Coach's Voices video of him while I was doing my own badges, and he was one of the videos that I watched for any research. And his Coach's Voice video that he did was just brilliant. And yeah, so for me, as a neutral, speaking as a neutral heady, I know my dad's a United fan, and I keep an eye on the results from time to time with United and stuff like that. But I can speak neutrally and just say that Jurgen Klopp has been, I would say, arguably one of, if not the greatest manager in the history of Liverpool Football Club. There have been some great ones in the past. There's been some fantastic managers in the past, way before I was even born. And if Bill Shankly was looking down now, he'd be super proud at Jurgen Klopp. 100%. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I can say that on behalf of every single Liverpool fan, that Bill Shankly will be looking down, really proud of Jurgen Klopp. And the thing is with Jurgen Klopp for me is he came in at a time when Brendan Rodgers really built a foundation. They almost won the league that year in 13-14 when Pellegrini picked them to the title. Everyone remembers that. The Crystal Palace slip-up, the slip by Gerrard against Denver Bar in that 13-14 season. Of course, we all remember that season. Pellegrini came in at City. Mourinho came back to Chelsea. Moyes started his career at United, which didn't last very long, unfortunately. And Rodgers was still building his revolution at Liverpool. And it got to a point in 15-16 where I think he was losing the derby, actually. They lost the derby. And the board had enough. John W. Henry had enough. He was sacked. And they brought in Jurgen Klopp, who had won trophies at Borussia Dortmund. He won trophies in his career. Obviously, he used to be manager at Mainz as well in Germany. And, obviously Mainz not doing very, very well at the minute. But yeah, Klopp left for the Tyrannies at Dortmund. He knew the club meant a lot to him. He came into Anfield. And I'm trying to think back here to when I was like 15 years old. When I thought back to that day when they announced that Klopp came into Liverpool, and in terms of the appointment itself, and after hearing what he'd done in Germany, etc., I knew it was going to be a decent appointment. I just didn't expect it to be as good as it did. And that's nothing against Jurgen Klopp. I didn't know what I was expecting from this appointment when it first got announced. But then 8.5 years later, he gets 6 major trophies under his belt, including a Premier League and a Champions League, might we add. Bearing in mind, he could add 4 trophies to his name this season. He could literally take his honours up to 10. Liverpool could do the quadruple this year. They've got the Europa League, they've got the Carabao Cup, they've got the FA Cup, and they've got the Premier League still. So, and for me, the title race in the Premier League will be between Liverpool and City. 100 million%. It'll be between Liverpool and City this year. Aston Villa will probably finish 3rd. I think Arsenal will scrape 4th. That's me being honest. Obviously, the Carabao Cup, they're in the final with Chelsea in just a month or two. So, looking forward to that one. Let's see what happens there. The FA Cup, they're in the 4th round for that one. So, obviously, they've still got a way to go with that one. And, of course, in the knockout stage of the Europa League as well. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the Europa League goes now. If Klopp even walks out with the Premier League this year or the Champions League this year, that's a great way to sign off. I actually think I think it's better than when Arsene Wenger signed off his reign at Arsenal, because if you think about it, when Arsene Wenger left Arsenal at the end of that 2017-2018 campaign, in the first year of his new 2-year contract, by the way, as well, Arsenal finished 5th. They were embarrassingly knocked out of the FA Cup by Nottingham Forest. They were knocked out of the EFL Cup in the final 3-0 by Man City, an embarrassing performance. And they got embarrassed 10-2 on aggregate by Bayern Munich again. So, I think if Klopp can get the Champions League or Premier League, or at least one of them, maybe even both of them out of this season, that could be a better way to leave than Wenger. This gives me vibes. It's not the same at all. 2 completely different managers, 2 completely different clubs and different spells. But this gives me vibes of when Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United. You're at a point where you can do no more with your team. And whether that be ownership investment, whether that be any other deciding factors that are going on and things like that, no matter what the reason, and who if there's anyone at fault, whoever's at fault, don't matter if anyone's at fault or anything like that. In your heart of heart as a manager, when you're done with the project and you announce it at the right time. I think Liverpool announced it at the perfect time. It was a weird announcement. I didn't expect it today, but I think they announced it at the perfect time, because for me, that gives Liverpool for the rest of this season the chance to push on, go for it, win a Premier League, win a Champions League, win the Carabao Cup. Sorry, not win the Champions League, win the Europa League, win the Carabao Cup, and win the FA Cup. You take at least 2 or 3 of the trophies out of that season and get a treble or a quadruple, or even 2 of those trophies. That's a great way to finish for Jurgen Klopp. And imagine if you won the Premier League this year. What a great way to sign off, like Sir Alex Ferguson. And I believe it's the first manager that will have won the Premier League and actually signed off his managerial career at that club by winning a Premier League. The last manager to leave the Premier League the season after they just won a title in that division was Sir Alex Ferguson, 2012, 2013. Many United fans remember that season. City were the champions going into that year. United took the title back and just blitzed that league by quite a few points. Robin van Persie was scoring goals for fun. Wayne Rooney getting on the act. A couple of younger stars breaking through again. And, it was a great year for United. It feels similar to that if Liverpool can pull off at least 1 or 2 of these trophies. So, yeah, like I said, they're in the Premier League still with the title race. They're still in the Europa League. They're still in the FA Cup. And they got a Carabao Cup final. That could be 1 silverware out of potential 4 to nail down at that point. Right then, where's next for Jurgen Klopp? Well, the comments, according to Fabrizio Romano, saying that he's probably going to take a year. It suggests to me he's going to take a year out. No club, no country, whatever. Sounds like he's going to take a break from the game just to get himself together after an 8.5-year run as Liverpool manager. If you want me to guess, I think the German national team would be good. I think the 3 Lions would be good for Jurgen Klopp, but that could just be a pipe dream, to be honest with you. But for me, I think that the German national team could definitely be a possibility in a year or so time. You never know what happens at other situations at other clubs. You never know if Real Madrid's moved on. You never know if Barcelona's moved on. You never know if clubs like Atletico Madrid have moved on. You never know. Could he go back to Dortmund? You never know. There is one thing for sure: he won't go back to another English. He won't go to another English club ever. In terms of finally successes, who's next at Liverpool? Xabi Alonso is the favourite. He's come out and said, "I'm happy here at Leverkusen." We know situations can change, but for me, people say Xabi Alonso is the favourite. For me, I feel like the Liverpool job is too soon for Xabi Alonso. I think only, a year and a bit, at nearly 2 years at Leverkusen. Got them into the Europa League semi-finals last year, got them 6th in the Bundesliga after taking over on the 5th of October, 2022. Obviously, they're first in the table at the moment. They're currently unbeaten still, so obviously it's a great season for them at the minute, but I still think it's too soon. Steven Gerrard signed a contract extension in Saudi Arabia, so he won't come back, but then again, Michael Flynn at Swindon signed a 2-year extension in November and he still got sacked a couple of months later. So we just never know with that. So Stevie G is still on the table, contract extension or not. Nagelsmann's in the bookies. Xavi could be a great manager. They could turn to Stevie G if they wanted to. There's, I mean, will they go for Graham Potter? I don't know. I don't know. It's still too soon to say who's going to be the next manager. It's kind of hard. I've never really been in this position with Liverpool where we have to talk about the next manager. It's one of them where it's a bit of a weird one for me. But yeah, we'll just see what happens, won't we? But there we are, guys. Jurgen Klopp is out the door at the end of the season. Liverpool fans, comment down below your thoughts and opinions. But for now, guys, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now.